Is ray tracing a scam? Let's find out. Hey, what's up gamers? Happy Dude here. Now, recently I had a big revelation. It happened when I was playing The Last of Us Part 1 for the 57th time. I'm always coming back to this game because it's just such an amazing story, amazing graphics, fun to play. So, yeah. And now I have a 9070 XT. So now I can play it in native 4K with more than 60 FPS. And this game doesn't have any options for ray tracing, pad tracing, or all that stuff. But it does have a lot of settings for the graphic options if you play it on PC. As you can see here, everything is on ultra or high, so everything is maxed out except for post effect settings like motion blur and depth of field. I hate that stuff, so I always turn that shit off. So this is the kind of performance that you will get with a 9070 XT in The Last of Us, with all the settings completely maxed out in native 4K. So upscaling and AI frame gen is off. So almost 100 FPS, not bad at all. And as you can see, we have a perfect reflection in the mirror here, even without ray tracing or pad tracing. Now that may seem normal to you, but don't forget this game is from 2013. But to be fair, this game has been remastered 3 times, I believe. This is the latest version and it's on a PC, so you will see way more reflections with all the settings maxed out, like in this TV and in the glass window, even on shiny posters. And this was also in the original version, but I believe we only have one mirror in the entire game, and the first level is always the most fleshed out. It's very scripted, it's a small level, so you can put a lot of lightning details in there. Now you can say, oh wow, big deal, it has a reflection in the mirror. But what if I show you this right here? This is the latest Resident Evil game, and we don't have a clear picture in this mirror right here, even though ray tracing is on. You can only have it when pad tracing is on, so you can't have it on an AMD card because it doesn't have a denoiser. So that's just very sad to me. Okay, let's make our way down the stairs, and you can also see the reflection of the light on the floor and on the wall. The lightning of the police cars through the window and the house. The shadows are also amazing in this game. And you can see the reflection of yourself in the windows. I just can't believe how good this game looks. It's so old.
Are you okay?
Look at the lightning and the shadows. It's just amazing. And you can see the reflection of the room in the window and also of your character itself. That's just... It completely blows me away. And you can say, sure, that's all pretty standard stuff nowadays, but is it really? Here's another modern game, Indiana Jones, also very hard to run when you turn everything to the max. My 9070 XT can't do that. So here's ray tracing enabled, and then you have some nice lightning and shadows, but no reflections. For that, you actually have to turn on full ray tracing, so with pad tracing. So that's what I'm doing right here. Let's turn full ray tracing on with global illumination and pad tracing. And even then, we don't have any reflections of ourselves in the glass. Not even the whole world behind you is rendered in the reflection of the glass. It's only some elements, and this is inside a building. It's not even outside. And to make it playable, you have to turn on upscaling, and everything looks very noisy. There's a grain to it. It's blurry. It's not sharp. So if we turn it back off, it looks so much sharper. Look at the difference. Here's a side-by-side comparison. I don't know if you guys can see it that well because it's already edited and uploaded to YouTube, so you lose a lot of quality. But if you do it in front of your eyes live on your TV or monitor, you will see a big difference. Okay, time for the next section in The Last of Us. So you can see the whole world in the reflection of the glass, but the reflection of yourself has gone missing here. And whoops, I'm dead. See what happens when you look at reflections in glass? That's why I hated ray tracing in the beginning. I didn't see the point of it. It was just pointless. Ooh, look at this. This is very impressive. Look at all the lightning, the fire, the whole world in the puddles on the floor, and in all the windows of the shops. It does really make a game come to life. It's very immersive. So for single player, it's really fun to have that all, but not if it's all AI generated frames with upscaling, but because that just make it looks worse. And you can see that it is possible to do that. This game is from 2013. Come on, it's 13 years old. So we were able to do this. And here's another game to make my point even more obvious. This game is older than Resident Evil and Indiana Jones. And it's a big open world. And the budget isn't as big as The Last of Us. And we have a lot of ray tracing here. A lot of big buildings are made out of glass. And you can see the whole world in it, including yourself when you swing by. And the cars have it too. But you do need ray tracing cores and maybe a bit of upscaling to make it playable if your GPU isn't powerful enough. But it still looks amazing. Okay, back to The Last of Us. And now we are outside and we are still able to hit 59, yeah, almost 60 FPS depending on where you're running and watching. But look at this. You can even see the light of the moon in the water, and because it's raining, we have a lot of distortion and wrinkles in the water, even when you walk into it. There's just so much detail into this game. It blows me away every time. And especially now, when I can play it on my 9070 XT with everything maxed out. It looks even more beautiful than on the PS5 and the PS4 and the PS3. Yeah, don't forget, this game was made for PS3. So that's a long time ago. And here's the shallow puddle that's almost like a mirror. And the reflection just looks amazing. I can't believe that this game doesn't need ray tracing cores to give this effect. Here's another game that's very famous for having the best ray tracing effects, Alan Wake 2. But it's so heavy to run, and the sections are pretty much the same as in The Last of Us Part 1, so they can cram a lot of detail in it. But you do need a very powerful GPU. And even with a 5090, when you put everything to the max, you still need AI generated frames and upscaling. Otherwise, the FPS is only 15 or 18. And that's with a graphics card that costs $3,000. That makes me very, very sad. And I also have to say that Alan Wake 2 isn't as fun to play as The Last of Us. The story is amazing, the graphics look amazing, but it's just not as fun. And here's the last section of The Last of Us that I wanted to show you. It's in broad daylight and we have a lot of water here. But because it's so deep, we don't have a perfect reflection image. And you can see here, when you move up and down, it does disappear. So it's not as accurate as having true ray tracing cores to handle it. But it still looks amazing. And also, sometimes it looks too much like a mirror. And you don't always have that when you have dirty water like this. So to answer the question, is ray tracing a scam? I believe it is. This game proves that you don't need ray tracing cores to make a game beautiful with reflections. Sure, it isn't 100% accurate, but is that really necessary? No. You will still enjoy the game, it will still look beautiful, and you don't need AI upscaling and frame generation, and the game will look a lot cleaner and you will have a lot more performance.